Alrighty, everyone. Hopefully, everybody had a good 5-minute break there. Our next show, starting off our second half, is going to be Generations Lost, written by Aidan Chapman and directed by Joshua Mullins and Jordan Wommack. I'm going to go ahead and introduce the cast. So, first off, we have Marge Fletcher, played by Henry Murray, Martin, played by Josh Mullins. Fletcher, played by Chris Phillips. Martha, played by Susannah Dixon. Matt, played by Mac McMullen. Dee, played by Jordan Womack. And young Fletcher, played by Dave Sharpe. Alrighty, everyone, please take it away.
I'm sitting in my living room. There are large paintings perfectly hung of beautiful women and men. There's a large elephant tusk hanging on the back wall. A rifle with a bayonet is on the far left wall. There are items decorating the worst and the best parts of my life. In the center, I sit in a regal blue velvet chair with gold trimmings. There is a side table next to me with intricately carved scenes of an African war tribe. I have a large mahogany table. I have a PA system connected to the door and the gate. I am drinking English breakfast tea with milk and eating an English muffin spread with blackberry jam. Today's newspaper is in my hand. Get you a realtor who's a good old boy. No thanks. It's a conversation no one wants to have, but is it time? Well, is it time? Come on, newspaper, what you got for me? Should they start siphoning money from education to athletics? I don't see what could possibly go wrong there. Hello! Wait! Don't say anything. Are you aware that you have interrupted my breakfast time? This is a very special time for me. Now, whatever you are selling, I promise you I don't need it, unless it's Girl Scout cookies.
Mr. Fletcher, it's Martin from the El Paso Times.
Oh, yes. That was scheduled for today. I'm sorry, young man. Here, I'll buzz you in.
Wow, sir, you have a lovely home.
Come in and sit down. Can I get you anything?
No, sir, I'm fine. So, where would you like to do the interview?
Are you in a hurry, Mr.
Martin, Glass, sir. And no, I just like getting down to the nitty gritty, if you know what I'm saying.
Ah, Mr. Glass. What an extraordinary last name. It sounded as if you had to search for it for a moment. Last names are finicky beasts. I completely understand the feeling. I'm sure do hope you don't crack under pressure.
Well, there have been a few cracks before, but I've never fully broken.
Ah, an honest man. Well, I'm sure here would be sufficient.
It sounds great. I'll just set down my things and then we can begin.
If you don't mind, I'll finish my muffin. Have you seen anything about these monument defacers?
No, I have not. I mean, why would you deface a monument? I mean, come on, people. I mean, people keep historical landmarks and national parks like that for a reason. I mean, anyway, before we begin with the interview, I just want to let you know what this column is going to be about. It's an expose on El Paso's most interesting folks. You, of course, are at the top of our list. I mean, heck, with all the information we have on you. Phew. Anyway.
I see. I'm not sure that my life has been interesting. I, for one, am not overly interested by it. Sure, I was born into a family of African safari hunters. Looking back on it, we were definitely poachers. I'm sorry, do you mind if I do my stretches?
Whatever makes you feel most comfortable, sir.
This should do the trick. Oh! Jiminy crickets, that was orgasmic. I'm sorry, what was I doing? Oh, yeah, talking about my interest in life, as you would say. This one time, me and my father, it's sunset in the Serengeti. I'm a young. My father and I are on my first hunt. My father is playing tag with me. I run in and he's behind me carrying his hunter rifle. A lion roars.
Oh, hold a minute.
And chase me.
No, stop. Seriously.
What, are you afraid?
My father grabs me by the arms. He pulls me in.
Listen to me when I tell you something, boy.
I hear the lion roar as I feel my father slap me across the face.
I'm sorry, sir.
Look at him. You must ran right in front of that big son of a gun. You've got to be aware out here, my boy. You'll get eaten up quicker than a cheetah.
He pulls me by my arms behind a rock.
I didn't see him, Paul.
I know. That's why I corrected you. There's nothing wrong with a little correction. It's how we keep the mistakes away. Some people can't handle it.
My father raises his gun, keeping behind the rock. I peek my head above it. I was almost too small to see.
Are you going to shoot him, Daddy?
Oh yeah. This beauty is going to fetch a high price from a Texan politician. Isn't it beautiful, son?
The lion roared, which made me reach for my face. I say,
Oh, yes, sir.
I watched my father pull the trigger. Gazed upon this beauty.
Is that real?
What do you think?
How'd you get that?
Were you not listening? My father handed lines. When he fired his rifle, the first shot knocked out the left canine of the beast. The sound it made, I'll never forget it. It was like an ungodly crack.
Yeah, I can only imagine. So your childhood must have been insane.
I suppose it was quite colorful. We departed from the wild Serengeti following my 17th birthday. I had the education of a grade 8 dropout, but the tactical skills of an army vet, which was a great thing because of that godforsaken draft. I hear someone yell grenade. I find cover behind a large rock to shield myself from the 5 shooters trying to gun me down. I am dirty and I can't tell where my body is bleeding from, but I can feel its warmth. I can hear gunshots around. I'm 18 years old and I'm in war. A beautiful woman enters, a nurse. Good thing.
Well, hello, beautiful. Would you mind passing me that pistol you got there? I seem to have got myself into a sticky situation and left mine back in the swamp.
Well, how many are on you?
You think I had time to count?
This holds 7, but I used 2 on a massive rat this morning.
5 could be enough. Wait, are you English?
Yeah, I'm from London. How would you like to do this? Don't really have time for a meet and greet.
London, how about that? How about you just put the safety on and toss that sucker over here? Sound good?
It's worth a shot.
She knows her way around a rifle. She puts the safety on and tosses it to me.
Well, Miss, well, look at that. I don't even know your name. If I get us out of this, you've got to let me buy you a drink.
My name's Martha.
Of course it is.
I take the safety off and peer over the rock. I'm tall enough. I shoot the gun until there are no more bullets. She was right. There were 5, and I was right. That's all I needed.
Well, let me guess. Gin and tonic?
We got married as soon as I began my long journey home.
Oh, you got some game, Mr. Fletcher.
You may call me Fletcher if you would like.
All right, Fletcher. So what about children?
What makes you ask that question?
Well, I'm not sure. We're just trying to get a nice overview of your life. So,
Well, I had one son. Well, he's still mine, but
I'm sorry, sir. I didn't realize that all of this was such a touchy subject with you.
there are no touchy subjects in my life. He was a great boy. I was the problem. It's a funny thing, young man. After years of isolation, you find out you may just be an asshole. All the people in your life were right. The girl you ruined, the men you ruined, the elders. I've done my fair share of wreckage.
I see. Well, your education is something that does interest the paper.
Yes, my education. I was with this posh Brit. I figured I should try and obtain a better skill set for an America we found ourselves in. The nurse, now my Martha, and I are picnicking. She is with child, and I am buried in my book.
Won't you come join your family? We are dying to have a conversation with you, my love.
Sorry, I'm just trying to cram before this exam.
You've been cramming all day. You are going to turn into a glutton.
A glutton?
Never mind.
No, tell me. I detest when you do that. It drives me absolutely
Correctly.
insane.
Look at you, my sweet.
My father thought words were for the weak.
I know, Fletch. We have had this conversation multiple times. It's
He would
fine.
spit
Your
in
father.
books and knowledge. If he could see me now. Well, I'm quite glad he can't. He'd probably be very upset that I didn't end up with a feisty South African girl.
That's nice, I guess. He's kicking for you.
What makes you think it's a he?
Motherly intuition.
We hear a piercing alarm. My Martha jumps almost completely into my arms.
Don't fret, it's just the fallout alarm. They sent out a letter that they would be testing them all this week. Things are getting very serious with those commie bastards.
Oh, do not speak of such things in front of him.
Well, he can't hear me, that much I know. Well, I really hope he can't because of the way we talk intimately sometimes. But I don't want to raise a nudist, you see. That would completely...
So quiet, you.
We kiss. After some time and many a book, I picked up my vernacular you hear now.
Well, if you don't mind me asking, whatever did happen to Martha?
I do mind. I do mind, sir. I don't wish to speak about my dear Martha any longer. I'm sorry. A man shouldn't have sore spots in his life. Very well. Very well. She did not make it out of the childbirth. My son ripped her open, and she bled out. The great lion that my father killed, the same tooth that I have around my neck right now was that of the lioness. All I could think after that tragic day was my father shooting that beautiful creature. It felt almost like my punishment for allowing my Neanderthal father to take such an innocent life. Sorry, I'm rambling once again. Sometimes I feel as if my train is never really in the station.
I'm sorry. Was this why your relationship with your son?
Relationship with a fickle bitch, pardon my French. Our relationship seemed to disintegrate on his 16th birthday. I had made it big in steering, hence why I reside in Texas. It's sunset in Texas. I am older. My son and I are on our first hunt. He walks ahead of me. I follow with my rifle. There is a lonely cactus. A coyote howls in the distance.
Happy birthday, son.
Thanks, Dad. You gonna let me shoot one?
Well, I'm sure you're old enough now. Proceed. Now, 2 things. Make sure you never point this at an individual. unless you're ready to pull the trigger. Also, don't drop it. Hold it like it's a beautiful woman. Firm, not soft. Women want to feel secure.
Don't worry, I know how to hold a lady.
Oh, do you? Well, I guess my work here is done.
Are you gonna let me try?
Yes. Here you go. Hold the barrel up, not out.
I hand the gun to Matt. The sun is going down. He takes the gun and points it at the cactus.
Hear that? That's the vermin that's been devouring our chicken and making its mark on our horses. See that, son?
We lock-eyed, with a pair of glowing eyes in the distance.
Yeah, I see.
Pull the trigger. When you are ready.
He shoots the gun. My hand instinctively shoots to my cheek as a howl is heard.
Look at that! You got the monster! Well, they are ugly, ugly disasters.
I did! Oh, wow, that was something.
My son hands the gun to me and runs off to where the eyes used to be. I take a bullet from the holder and load the gun. Matt found the body. I point the gun at him.
Dad, what are you aiming at? Dad!
Why would you?
Don't question it. I don't know. It was as if all my anger bubbling inside me for years spilled over and destroyed the foundation of my relationship with my son. He took my Martha away from me. I tried to be his father. I really did, but there was no way I could let go what he did to her.
So you just thought, let me gun down my only son?
Don't judge me. You don't know what I went through with that boy.
Are you trying to justify this?
I've come to terms with what I did.
Wow, well, you're just a regular old Abraham, aren't you?
Abraham sacrificed a ram instead of his son.
Wow. Wow.
The gun misfired. Maybe in a twisted way, that was my ram.
You still almost killed your only son.
Mr. Glass, I thought you said you wouldn't break. It seems as if you are broken. Let's change the subject.
Actually, that's all the time that I have for the day.
I will see you out then. I think you should keep my son and I out of the column, if you don't mind.
I agree.
I'm sitting in my living room. There are perfectly hung family photos on the wall. There's a large photo of an elephant on the back wall. A large trophy for best family Halloween costume is on the far left. And there are items decorating the best parts of our life. On the side, I sit in a brown recliner, my favorite chair. There's a side table with several ring stains. We have a large brown couch. I'm drinking a beer and eating an apple. Today's newspaper is in my hand, June 21st, 2019. Martin's sitting on the couch. Now that you've come to terms with it, now that you've heard it for real, you can come to terms with that.
What was it like when the gun misfired?
I remember the sound. I thought my life was over.
Well, your mother sounded like a lovely woman. I mean, British. I mean, who knew?
He never talked about her. And I guess that makes sense now.
Yeah. Yeah, he was like a real poacher.
They ain't a Vietnam hero, apparently.
Crazy thing is I have a feeling he would do it all over again.
Yeah. Well, thanks for making this Father's Day a great one, son.
Alrighty, thank you all so much. Please come back out here and let's get some virtual claps going. Very nice, everyone. Very well done. Absolutely splendid. Alrighty.